Many thanks again to our panelists who participated here talking about the Northside Initiative. That is really inspirational stuff and a great blueprint for, I think, a lot of municipalities around South Carolina. But we have another really terrific treat in store for you here for the next half hour. You're going to be introduced to Jim Sinegal. He's the co-founder, director of Costco Wholesale Corporation. I know just about everybody has to be familiar with Costco, right? He retired December 31st, 2012. He's now the company advisor. Jim served as Chief Executive Officer of Costco Wholesale Corp. For more than 27 years. He's been a director since its inception. He began his career in retail business all the way back in 1954. Today, Costco has revenues in excess of $100 billion. It operates 654 warehouses and stores in 42 states across America, Puerto Rico, and 9 other countries, employing 194,000 people. Jim serves as trustee for Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center. He's a senior executive in residence at Seattle University's Albers School and serves in a similar capacity at his alma mater, San Diego State University. Jim also serves as an advisory at the Mendoza School of Business for Notre Dame. Please give a warm welcome to Mr. Jim Sinegal.
You know, can you hear me? Okay. You know, after listening to Kurt and Carol and Tony and the rest of the panel, I now know what it feels like to be inadequate. That was absolutely stunning. I applaud all of you. That was just fantastic. How many of you have been in a Costco before? You know, you guys could have broken my heart here. Well, I'm gonna start here. This is pretty easy stuff here. I'm going to show you a video, and the purpose of the video is that I think it'll give you a little flavor of Costco. Many of you probably know that Costco doesn't advertise in a traditional sense. You'll never see an ad on television or in the newspapers or magazines. We count on word of mouth. We count on people saying they like Costco and talking to their neighbors about it. So there's a purpose to this video. It's going to tell you a little bit about our company and maybe explain some of the things that we do and why we do it. So we'll start with that, and then I'll tell you a bit about the history of our company.
People love Costco, Neil. Rich, poor, every race, color, creed, socioeconomic level, people love Costco. They fight to have one in their neighborhood.
Speaking of shopping, I can't wait for that new Costco.
Oh my God, here's obsessed with Costco. Oh, you can't blame a man for being excited about buying in bulk.
Corporations like Costco see higher wages as the smart way to boost productivity and reduce turnover.
Well, the one that's still great is the Warehouse Club. Costco is the one exception to everything. Year in, year out, weather this, they don't care about weather. You don't hear them complaining about the weather.
Look at Costco. Probably, in my opinion, the best retailer in America. Their margins are lower than Walmart, but they know how to get that top-end customer. They've got all that food, but it's done in a better way. It's absolutely brilliant. They sell at lower margins, yet they get, look at they got a little Mercedes in the parking lot. This is merchandise.
Brilliant. Increasingly, more and more celebrities are interested in saving money at Costco. Bruce Willis was saying that the place is like its own art museum, and Bethany Frankel says Costco is her religion, and Jimmy Kimmel even got his engagement ring on the website for Costco.
If I'm wrong on this, that you bought your wedding ring at Costco?
Yes, that is true. That is true. I know people think I'm joking, but I did buy it at Costco.com.
Oh, Costco.com. I didn't know Costco sold wedding rings. They really sell everything.
Oh, they have everything. I'm going to be buried in a Costco casket.
Didn't you like doing romantic things at Costco?
Listen, I would have got married at Costco if
I was gonna say, like, have some free sample hors d'oeuvres, everyone. There's going to be romantic ice skating in the freezer. You know.
They have those foam mattresses you can consummate.
Big things of salmon from Costco.
Nice.
I'm a big Costco fan.
Are you?
As well, everything's in bulk.
When the inevitable zombie apocalypse takes place a few years from now, all I want is to live inside a deserted Costco.
There's a bread at Costco that they don't sell anywhere else.
Which one?
I don't know how to explain it except it's made with honey and seeds, and I don't know the name of it, but you can only get it at Costco.
Of all of the private labels out there, a study by Consumer Edge Insight found that Kirkland Signature gets the highest marks in customer satisfaction. By now, most shoppers have figured out that Costco makes Kirkland, but they don't seem to care. With everything from bourbon to trail mix, Kirkland has established itself as a trusted brand in its own right. By the way, next time you're trying to pick up a girl at Costco, you can point out it's called Kirkland Signature because Costco's headquarters used to be in Kirkland, Washington.
Number 3, can you hear me now? Costco is now the new #1 seller of hearing aids.
Kirkland Signature Pork Bacon from Costco. It is the only one that rates excellent for taste. It crisps up nicely and consistently has a balanced blend of fat and meat flavors with just the right amount of smoky sweetness.
You can save big, as much as 40% if you know where to shop. Consumer Reports found you get the most bang for your buck at Costco. Shoppers can expect to pay less than $200 for above average quality.
If you're looking for a new TV, should you shop at a giant warehouse store like Costco, or are you better off at an independent electronics store? Consumer Reports just released a survey of its subscribers can help you decide. Costco topped the ratings in one category.
Well, they're cheaper. Their price point is excellent. You get a good price.
And Costco has a generous return policy for electronics.
Like nearly 70% of Americans, Barry Ehrlich takes prescription medication.
This is for I have what's called SVTs, which is an arrhythmia type thing for my heart.
He pays out of pocket for 3 medications a month, but a recent trip to the local CVS to pick them up had him in disbelief over the price.
Well, I get Gravopen, so my out-of-pocket cost was $110.
A number that led Ehrlich to take action.
So then I decided, well, I'm going to check around. So I went to Costco.
Ehrlich paid around $170 for 2 of his prescriptions at CVS. At Costco, a much more satisfying $25 for both.
Here with details is Brian Gildenberg, the Chief Knowledge Officer at Kantar Retail, a shopper, insights, and consulting company. Welcome to the show, Brian. It's great to have you here.
Well, thanks, Gary. It's great to be here.
And it's great to be able to say a company's doing something right. We always pick on them when they do something wrong. But Costco here, listeria in its fruit, and it took an unusual step. Tell us what they did.
Well, I think, and I think you summarized it well at the outset. What they did is essentially what they always do during recall situations, which is that because they're a membership club, they know exactly who's bought where, really in every
Because
building.
you have to sign up and give them a credit card. They know exactly who you are.
Yeah, they do, and they use that data very, very responsibly. Most of the time, they use it for things like this, where if there is a problem or a situation, they literally pick up the phone and call everyone that could have been impacted by this within 24 to 48 hours of discovering it.
That's got to be expensive. I don't think I've ever heard of a company doing this, and in reality, they have no obligation to do it. They have no legal obligation to have to do it, right?
No, none whatsoever. I mean, they do all the standard stuff that most retailers would do in a recall situation. They issue the letter, they hang it out, they go on TV and stuff like that. But no, I think with Costco, you've got a very different enterprise, right? Because it's a membership club. So.
Well, and we've seen retailers and we've seen vendors out there who don't even make a public statement. So, I mean,
Fair point.
I want to show you the reaction that came from consumers on this. There were a lot of Twitter folks talking about it. Here's one. Thank you, Costco, for taking the time to tell me about the recalled peaches I purchased. I understand that it's not your fault they had cooties, and I really appreciate the heads up. And we've got a bunch of other ones here. There's also one from Kyle who says, thanks for the phone call about the peach recall. Too late, though. And then one from Ashley who says, interesting use of shopper data by Costco to directly warn those affected by the recall. How does this play out with customers, and do you think that it resonates positively, even though it's bad news?
Oh, absolutely. And Costco's done this for years, by the way. This isn't new, and this isn't something they did for this situation. They are renowned amongst their members for proactive notification of recalls. And I really do think that, you have to pay money to go to Costco, right? You pay your membership fee, and you don't have to pay money to go to Target or Walmart. So
no, that's true.
Costco feels like the members expect a little bit more, and I think they do a brilliant job of delivering it in situations like this.
I was interested in who would have made this decision, at what level. Is it the CEO who decides? Is it a line manager somewhere? Who makes this call that costs $1 million?
Well, the beautiful thing with Costco is either one of those people would probably make exactly the same decision. I have never in my career encountered an organization where its line employees think more like owners of a company on a regular basis. So in real life, either one of them probably would have done exactly the same thing. practically speaking, Costco has a process for doing this, and they follow it. I think that's the important thing.
It's
right?
corporate culture.
Yeah,
It
it is.
boils down to how people feel about what they're supposed to be doing for the company and the customer. And once you translate that through the whole organization, it really pays off.
Each year, GasBuddy combs through nearly 35 million individual gas prices, making comparisons. And for a second year in a row, it found that Costco was the leader in value pricing. On average, it found Costco to have prices about 14 cents less than its competitors.
Neil, are you here tomorrow? Because we're making a Costco run.
They have generic beer there. It's cheaper than water. Sounds awesome.
Ask you something. How do you think that you will spend your time after leaving the View?
Well, I've accomplished so much in my career, but there are certain things that I feel like I've missed out on. Ordinary things. Like, I'd like to get a Costco card.
And Black Friday, of course, is this Friday. It's the busiest shopping day of the year. And Costco has designed a new shopping cart. I don't know if you saw that story. Check it out.
We're about to see some big changes at Costco. In fact, some people are wondering if Costco's brand new shopping carts are designed to make you shop more. The new carts are lighter than most others. They also have more room than your main basket. So your shoppers gotta fill them up.
I know that may be boring for you, but I love seeing this stuff. So. The Costco today is the second largest retailer in the U.S. and fourth largest in the world, 19th largest Fortune 500 company, and we have a $50 billion market cap. This is a view of one of our new warehouses in California, in Huntington Beach, Auburn, Australia, which is outside of the Sydney area. Zama, Japan. This line extended for over a mile. It's enough to bring a tear to your eye. Today, as of the end of this year, and our year ends at the end of August, we'll have 663 warehouses on a worldwide basis. And you see the countries where we're at. Of course, the lion's share in the U.S., 88 of them in Canada, all the way from Vancouver Island out to Newfoundland. Mexico, UK, in England, Scotland, and Wales. We have 20 in Japan, 11 in Korea, South Korea, Taiwan, and 6 in Australia. And we just recently opened a new country in Spain, in Sevilla. Our business is, we have several competitors. The most notable competitor that we have is, of course, Sam's, which is owned by Walmart. And this shows some of the comparisons. One of the hallmarks of our business is that we generate very significant volume in every one of our buildings. And if you look at there, the average sales in one of our Costco's is about $166 million compared to our competitors doing about 91, and there's a competitor, BJ's, that does about 78 million per unit. And we continue to grow our business at a very healthy rate. Costco today, $110 billion worth of revenues that we expect by the end of this month for the year. We have 94 million square feet of what we refer to as warehouse space. The average warehouse store that you see is about 144,000 square feet. And we have 189,000 employees on a worldwide basis. 41 million households shop with Costco, or 75 million people running around with a Costco card in their wallet. And they're very loyal. They renew with us at a very high rate. And those fees represent about $2.4 billion a year. And of course, those dollars are fungible. We can use those dollars for lowering the price on the television sets and on the Kirkland Signature chickens that you see. Our strengths, obviously, the 75 million people that we have, the strong membership renewals, they continually renew with us. We have established what was described by Goldman Sachs as absolute pricing authority. And what they have said is that people expect that if they see it at Costco, it's going to be the best value that they can find. And they consistently believe that. And we take pride in having established that pricing authority. We have great employees, and we'll tell you a lot more about that. We have great merchandise. We're good merchants. We know how to merchandise, buy and sell goods. We have a treasure hunt atmosphere so that when you come in, Maybe one time you'll see a Mark Andrew ladies jacket for $39.99, and you come back the next time and we don't have it anymore, but maybe we have some Calvin Klein jeans that we're selling. We try to create that sense of urgency that when you see it, you better buy it because it may not be there next year. And of course, we like to think like a small company, and that's difficult to do when you're doing $100 billion in sales and when you have 190,000 employees worldwide. But we do try to think and be nimble and act quickly, and of course have always tried to create a quality image, and you saw some of that in the videos that we showed you. A little history about our company. The Price Club was founded in San Diego in 1976, and it was founded by a man that I went to work for in 1954 called Saul Price. And Saul Price started a discount chain in San Diego called FedMart, subsequently went and founded the Price Club, and that became the warehouse club business. It was based on the things you see here, very low cost of operation, low prices on quality goods, and low expenses on a continual basis. And they were very successful. The warehouse club industry in 1982 represented 8 Price Club warehouse locations, and they were doing about $500 million, and they went public, and the whole world found out how successful they were. And of course, then everyone wanted to open something like that, including me. And I had been working for Saul since I was 18 years old, starting in 1954, as I mentioned. Walmart opened their first Sam's Club. Zehrs opened, which was a discounter in the Northeast, opened up BJ's, and there were several other startups, including, as I said, Costco. In October of '82, my business partner, Jeff Brotman, and I got together, and we drew up plans to start a business, and we were going to clone that operation in San Diego, and which was the Price Club. And we went out and raised money ourselves. We raised $7.5 million. And as a matter of fact, we got in the mail $11 million, and because the documents said we only wanted 7.5, we had to give $3.5 million back. So we decided that we would use professionals to raise money after that. And we used that to hire our first 10 officers, and we were off and running. And our original business plan, we sold it to our investors on the basis that we thought we could eventually grow to 12 Costco's. We thought of ourselves as a Northwest company. You see the cities where we thought we would open. We thought that if we could eventually do about $80 million a building, we could get sales of about $1 billion and a nice return. The first year we opened up and took that money that we used to open up in Seattle and in Portland and in Spokane, and then subsequently in Salt Lake City and Tacoma, which is just south of Seattle, South Center, which is a bedroom community of Seattle, and Tampa, Florida. So the question comes up, you were a Northwest company, how in the world did you get to Tampa, Florida? And I jokingly say that so many of us were from California, and we'd gone up to Seattle and we hadn't seen sunshine for a long time. So we decided to start a business here. In truth, we learned very quickly that there was a much bigger market share available for us than we ever dreamed. And we wanted to try to go someplace where we knew we could cluster 10 or 12 Costco's at one time. This is a view of our first Costco in Seattle. That little nodule you see on the front of the building there was our home office, and it was raining. It was always raining. That was the way we displayed the merchandise in those days, not too sophisticated. Today we're a little fancier relative to the way we put the goods out, and a little better at merchandising than we were in those days. In 1985, we opened up in California, and we went into California, and that was a market we were afraid of at that point because the Price Club was operating there. And we also opened up in Canada. And we said, how tough can it be? It's only about 140 miles away. Well, we found out. They spoke a different language in parts of the country. They had a different currency. They had different tax laws. They had a different system of measurement. And they tried to act like a different country. And so... In 1986, we opened up in the Midwest, in Milwaukee and in Minneapolis. 1987, we closed the Midwest. We had clearly underwhelmed them, and we were a young company, and is a classic case of everybody trying to spend 80% of their time on 20% of the problem. We decided to exit the market, and we exited as well as we possibly could. We gave every employee in our company a chance to move with us and stay with us, many of whom are still with us today and still working with us. We, of course, took care of all of our, we refunded every membership dollar that we had collected. Even if somebody had been a member for 11 months, we gave them their full membership fee back because we felt that we probably would be coming back at some point. 1988, we expanded our selection to include fresh foods. These are, of course, as you all know, these are steaks 4 and 5 to a package, those packages you've become so fond of. And in 1992, we opened up in Mexico, in a community right outside of Mexico City. 93, we opened up in the UK, in a bedroom community of London. 1993, we merged with that company that I mentioned to you, the Price Club, so we became, for a brief period of time, Price Costco, and then just assumed the Costco name. 95, we opened up in South Korea, and as you might expect, land is very dear in all of these Asian countries, and so we have to go vertical as opposed to horizontal. So in this particular case, the sales floor is 2 floors with people movers in there, and we have 5 floors of parking. 96, we opened up our first unit in New York City. 97, we expanded our membership to include not just a membership, but a whole service, a menu of services like telephone service and car purchasing and mortgages. In 99, we started engaging in e-commerce business, and one of the hallmarks of our e-commerce business at that time is we were probably the only e-commerce company that was profitable at that point. And we sold a lot of really unusual stuff. If you look at that third picture from the left there, that was a Picasso print that we were selling for $40,000. And it sold in less than 2 hours online. And so some crazy stuff that we were doing. In 1999, we opened up in Japan. And the gray-haired gentleman that you see here on the right was the former Speaker of the House, Foley, who was at that point visiting Japan. My partner is standing next to him. I'm in the center there. And that young man behind the hammer is one of my sons who we sent over to open that country. And he started our Japanese business over there. And that's the traditional sake barrel that you have to break. We started a travel business in the year 2000, car washes that we've added to some of our places. Our merchandising strategy is really very simple, unusual, but very simple. We carry less than 4,000 items. And if you were to look at the wide range of categories that we have, all the categories that you'd find in a Target superstore or in a Walmart superstore, and they might carry 140,000 items. So we really pre-select the best buys that we can find in every category. Highly qualified national brands, a selected private label program, and we have to be able to show a substantial savings on everything we sell. If we can't show a savings, we get rid of the item. So as an example, for 5 years in the city of Portland, we didn't sell sugar because every supermarket in the city was selling sugar below cost. And our feeling was if a customer came in and found that sugar was not competitive, they had every reason to believe that maybe the Michelin tires weren't so competitive. So it was a chink in the armor from our standpoint. We've engaged in a lot of new products and services since then, some of which I've shown you. This is probably one of the best examples that I could show you. And this is, if you were to go into a traditional supermarket, you'd probably find about 350 cereal items in the cereal aisle. If you come into Costco, you're going to find that we've gone out and gotten the biggest box of Cheerios that we can find anywhere in the free world. And we're going to put it on a pallet and we're going to stack it in there, and it takes a matter of seconds to put that into a position to sell. If you think about a market that has to cut open boxes and hand stack and sell smaller units, you start to get the scope of the savings. We carry about 12 items in our cereal aisle compared to the 350. Now, the catch is, we hope you like Cheerios. Our operational mission is to constantly strive to bring goods and services to market at the lowest possible price just by being efficient. Out-efficiency the other guy at every turn as much as we can. We tell this story because it is, I think, fundamental to our whole culture in our company. We were selling Calvin Klein jeans for $29.99, and we were the lowest price in the country. Every department store was selling them at above $50. We sold them out. It was a retailer's dream. You sold it out to the piece. There was nothing left at the end. Every single piece selling at $29.99. We made a special purchase on a couple million pair of jeans and immediately lowered the price to $21.99. Now the question would be, if you were selling every pair you could get your hands on at $29, why in the world did you lower the price to $21.99? It doesn't make sense. Well, it does make sense to us because that's what we do. That's how we make our living. We consistently do it. You know how tempting it is for a buyer to figure out that they can make another $7 or $8 a pair on jeans just by keeping the same price? Very tempting. But again, that's not what we do. Our business imperatives is to improve as much in the future years as we have in the past, to continue to be a moving target, to continue to bring lots of quality products and operation, and to think like a small company. I'm telling this story because it started at their very first warehouse in Seattle, and we were trying to engage in the sale of beer and wine. You couldn't sell spirits, it was prohibited in the state, but we could sell beer and wine, so we applied for a license. Well, we had a 45-day delay. We didn't get our license. Eventually they came out and they said, we don't like your name. Our name at that time was Costco Wholesale Club. They said, you can't be a club and sell alcoholic beverages. So we said, okay, we'll adopt the word club. Then they came in and did an intensive audit on everything that we were purchasing. Everything that had nothing to do with alcohol. What were we buying milk for? What were we buying tires for? Then they came out and posted, you have to post that you intend to engage in the sale of beer and wine. Post for 30 days. They came back at the end of 30 days and they said, well, we didn't mean here, we meant over here. And so then finally that period, we had already been open. We'd been open now for 2 months and we still didn't have a license. So then they came back in and said, oh, we still don't like your name, and so you have to drop the word wholesale. So I said, and I noticed immediately the rapport was starting to slip. So we went back and, we had further arguments with them. The state instituted a 10% minimum markup on all beer and wine, and then conveniently excluded the state stores from having to comply with it. So we sued them and we won that case. But the lesson here for us, and this was very early in our history, was that we probably owe that inspector a vote of thanks, because it really made us focus on our business completely, about how people were going to view us. It made us more resolute in all the beliefs that we had about how we were going to run our business. Made us realize that, people are always going to ask, what's the catch here? These guys got these great big warehouses, they got open beam ceilings, cement floors, forklifts running all over the place. There must be a catch. They must not guarantee, everything must be second and irregulars. And we set out and were determined to overcome every objection people would have for shopping us. And we were even charging people a fee to come and shop with us. Nobody ever heard of anything like that. So we said, first thing is that we're going to have 100% warranty on every single product that we sell. Satisfaction guaranteed. It was going to be the best refund policy of any retailer in America. All you had to do is come to the front door and you were going to get your money back. There was going to be 100% guarantee on membership, likewise. If you were unhappy at any point, you'd get your money back on your membership. There'd be no misleading claims, no advertising. That was easy. We didn't advertise. But no superlatives. Just put the merchandise out and let the customer make their choices. We had a minimum and maximum markup. No loss leaders. We thought that that was misleading. And we were not going to sell anything above a 14% markup. pass every savings on to the customers as a matter of company policy, no seconds and no irregulars. And most importantly, we said the question that everybody's going to ask is, I bet you these guys are making money off the backs of their employees. And we set out to pay the highest wages in the retail industry, to provide the best package of benefits for our employees, and to provide security for our employees. This is a picture of Saul Price, the guy who started all this, the guy that I went to work for, and we had the 25th anniversary of the Warehouse Club business, and I asked Saul to come out and have a picture for our magazine, and he said he would do it if I joined him. Saul was a brilliant guy, smartest man I ever knew, probably the toughest man I ever knew. The great Sam Walton once commented that he stole more ideas from Saul Price, and then he amends and said, I'd like to say I borrowed more ideas from Saul Price than any man I've ever known. A reporter asked Saul one time, they said, how does it feel to be the father of an industry? And Saul looked at him and said, I should have worn a condom. So we set up, and those experiences helped us develop what we refer to as our code of ethics. We think as a business, there are essentially 4 things we have to do. We've got to obey the law, we've got to take care of our customers, we've got to take care of our people, and respect our suppliers. And we think if we do those 4 things, pretty much in that order, that we'll do what you have to do as a public company, which is to reward your shareholders. We think it's possible to reward them short term by not paying attention to those 4 things, but we think if you're not paying attention to it on the long term, you're going to stub your toe very badly in one of these areas. Our people are fantastic. They are the reason that we're successful. My partner and I get to stand up and take all the bows, and they do all the work. And they come up with all the ideas on our business. The culture of our company, we have a saying, the company culture is not the most important thing. It's the only thing. It means, and it tells you every action you're going to take as a company. Every decision that you're going to make is driven by the culture that you have within your organization. 70 cents of every dollar that we spend to run our business, 70 cents is spent on people, on payroll and on benefits and all the things that it takes for people. So if you're going to pick a place to be good, you better be good there, because that is the lion's share of all the money and all the expenses that you have in running your business. Our people are our best ambassadors. We've always felt that if you hire good people and provide good jobs and good wages and good benefits and good career opportunities, that good things are going to happen in your business. It's careers, it's not just a job. Anybody who wants to get ahead in our company has an opportunity to do that. Everyone is included. And this is not altruistic. This is just good business. It makes good sense to hire good people and pay them good wages, because you're going to get. Now, if you assume for a second, and let me just make that presumption, that Costco is the low-cost provider of merchandise, and we have the best buys on merchandise, and if we're paying the highest wages and have the best benefit plan in retail, then doesn't it figure that maybe we're getting better productivity and we're getting more for our money? I think so. The people are great. They're highly compensated. As I say, the average hourly person working on the floor is working for $21.50 an hour. It's very low turnover, about 10%, which includes all of our seasonal employees. And after an employee's been with us for a year, that drops down to less than 6% turnover. We would rather turn our inventory than our people. We have almost 190,000. You see the breakout here, about 128,000 in the U.S., 62,000 international. It's split 45 male and female, 49% people of color. Over 44,000 of our employees have more than 10 years of service with us, and over 5,300 have over 25 years of service with us. In our business, that's unheard of. You're unheard of in industries that have 60 and 70 and 80% turnover. The cost of success, as I mentioned earlier, is driven by the quality of our people, and 100%. We had this past year 907. Every place we go, the first place we recruit is at the local college. We go out and we hire because we're looking for part-timers. We're looking for people to work in the evenings. We're looking for people to work on Saturdays and Sundays. And of course, these are ideal people. And number one, they're going to college, so they're smarter than the average person. They're industrious enough to want to have a job and get themselves through school. And more importantly, a great number of them haven't made a career choice at that point. So you would be amazed how many people wind up staying with us and making this career. This past June, we had 970 graduates on a worldwide basis. Our military, we have 389 employees who are currently on military leave. We supplement all of their pay. We send them care packages every quarter with crazy stuff, trail mix. One of the things they like most are those baby wipes, because when you're in the desert, those things come in really handy. And so we always make sure we get them. And they all get them and they share them with their buddies. And warehouse managers, the people who run our warehouses, are the key to our success. They develop all the people for us. I've often said that if I could come back in 25 years, and there's no guarantee of that at all, but if I could come back in 25 years, I could judge the quality of our company by the quality of the warehouse managers that we have running that business. It's the most important job that we have. We've got a couple of our managers here. I don't know where's Dinah? Right here. Oh, hi, Dinah. Dinah is our manager here in Greenville, and then Sal. Where's Sal? Sal. Dinah's been with us. Next month it'll be 30 years. Yes. And Sal and his wife Nancy are here, and Sal is a newcomer, relative newcomer. He's only been with us 26 years. So, and then, you see the charts here, the hourly staff. About 76% of the people who run our buildings started with us in an hourly position in our company and worked their way up in the company. And that is a very good job here. We're talking about a job that's well rewarded there. And let's see here. Why has Costco succeeded? We never had an exit strategy. We could have sold the company dozens of times. Probably couldn't sell it today because it's worth too much money, but we could have sold it dozens of times. We said, no, we want to build an institution that's here 50 and 60 years from now. We think we owe that to the stakeholders, all of the stakeholders. We think we owe it to our employees to know that they're going to have the confidence that the company's here. We think our suppliers are entitled to that type of confidence. We think our communities are entitled to that type of confidence. We understand the disciplines to do business. Anybody can sell merchandise for low prices. The trick is to be able to make money when you're doing it. We've assembled a great team, and we're very proud of that team. We're good merchants. We do know how to buy and sell merchandise. And it's a fun place to work. We all enjoy it. That's the reason people stay with us, because we do have fun. We enjoy it. If you're not going to have fun, if you're going to work all these years and work that hard, you better enjoy it. And most importantly, because there are so many smart people out there who are starting businesses on a continual basis, you have to have some good fortune. And you have to be a fool to recognize that somewhere you got a couple of breaks that made the difference for you in your business. And we did. Since we went public in 1985, so it's now 28 years since we went public, our sales have grown at a 13.5% compounded rate. Our net income at a 13.7 compounded rate, and our stock price at a 16.9 compounded rate. So we think that we rewarded our shareholders pretty well over those years. This is a picture of one of our warehouses also in Sydney, Australia. But one of the things, they were interviewing this woman who was from the television channel, and she says, everything is gigantic here, and she keeps going on, and she picks up and she says, mayonnaise the size of my head. So, sorry I couldn't get that for you. And here's a cartoon that was in the New Yorker magazine recently. For those of you who have ever enjoyed the hot dog, and it's been $1.50 for the hot dog and soda for all the years that we've been in business. And a reporter asked me once, just recently, what would it mean if the price of the hot dog went up? And I told him it would mean I was dead. And so, and this is a scene in Cabo San Lucas where you can sit outside and watch the cruise ships come in and have a hot dog, okay? As you know, this conference is something, and I was just blown away by the presentations that were done today. And I mean, such great stuff. And the question comes up, why should any of us care about the working poor? Well, we should care about it because it affects all of our lives. And it is something that we should not live in. And we shouldn't be satisfied with that in a community. We shouldn't be satisfied with that in a state. And we shouldn't be satisfied with that in our nation. We have to do something to help out here. And all of us have an obligation to do that, and we should all care about it. And from our standpoint, it doesn't do any good for Costco to have the lowest price on a 70-inch television set if nobody can afford to buy one. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Really was great stuff about a great American business success story, one of the best success stories really in the history of American business. Jim, if you ever get a flight of fancy and decide to start another business venture, please take me with you. Please. I will go, no questions asked. That brings us to the close of our session here. A couple of notes for all of you who are members of OLLI and have come out for the last 4 weeks. Such a pleasure to see the same faces that I've seen for the last 3 years. Hats off to you for taking time out of your busy schedules to listen to some topics that are difficult to talk about, that are tough to get out there in the open, but are very meaningful and very important. So thank you for all and your attendance. Governor, the institute that bears your name is really unrivaled in its excellence. The staff is just tremendous. The work that they do, the overarching mission of the Riley Institute really is to improve the quality of life here in South Carolina. Doesn't get any more noble than that at all. Thank you for your support. Thank you for all you do. Thanks for all the staff at the Riley Institute. They are the ones that come up with the programs, who think about these very hard questions, find our guests, and make this happen. One of the things we'll talk about the Riley Institute and making the quality of life better in South Carolina, we'll wrap up by saying we can never really fully realize that and do that unless we attack and confront this issue of poverty. Never going to reach our full potential as a state. Never going to be as good as we should be. There's going to be way too many people left behind, and quite honestly, that's tragic. Whether you come to this subject as a matter of public policy and you think about it as a political issue, great. Get in touch with your elected officials. I've worked in politics for 10 years. Trust me, politicians will respond to well-written letters that make points and don't throw fireballs. It matters to them. Representative Bingham, who was here 3 weeks ago, was totally floored by the presence of all of you here in this room, enough so that he might come up with new legislation next year that addresses part of this issue. If you come to this issue from a spiritual perspective, get involved with your church, get involved with outreach, get involved with groups like the Spartanburg Northside Initiative. But everybody can play a role to make South Carolina a little bit better place. Thank you again for all of your time. We hope to see you again right back here again next year. Thank you.